Have you ever taken a moment to simply listen to the sounds around you, only to realize that even amidst external silence, there's a voice talking away inside your head? It's a constant companion, a running commentary on everything you experience. This inner monologue is a constant stream of thoughts, worries, and observations, shaping your perceptions and influencing your decisions every single day. It's like having a personal narrator for your life. It helps us plan our day, solve problems, and make sense of the world around us, piecing together information and forming our understanding of reality. Sometimes it sparks creativity and brilliant ideas, leading to innovative solutions and artistic breakthroughs. It's the birthplace of imagination, but it can also become a source of anxiety, a breeding ground for worry and fear and self-criticism, what we often call mental chatter, that relentless inner critic that constantly judges and evaluates. This internal conversation doesn't just stay in your head. It's not confined to your thoughts alone. It impacts your body in profound ways, influencing your physical health and well-being. Thoughts can trigger chemical reactions within your body, releasing hormones and neurotransmitters that affect your heart rate, your digestive system, your immune system, and more. It's all interconnected. The link between mind and body is powerful and real, a two-way street where thoughts influence physiology and vice versa. The goal isn't to silence your inner voice completely. That's often impossible and perhaps even undesirable, but to guide it in a healthier, more constructive direction, transforming it from a source of stress into a source of strength. In this video, we'll explore how mental chatter triggers stress responses in the body, how stress hormones affect your gut health and overall digestion, and what you can do about it to regain control and cultivate a more peaceful inner landscape. You'll learn practical, science-backed tips and techniques to quiet your inner critic, reduce anxiety, and foster a sense of calm and well-being. By understanding this intricate connection between your thoughts, your body, you can turn your inner voice into an ally for your well-being, a source of guidance, support, and empowerment. Let's dive in and begin this journey of self-discovery and inner peace. So what exactly is mental chatter? It's a concept we hear about often, but understanding its true nature is the first step to managing it. Imagine your mind as a radio that never truly turns off, constantly broadcasting a mix of thoughts, ideas, and opinions. Sometimes it plays uplifting thoughts, positive affirmations, and joyful memories, filling you with a sense of well-being. But often, and especially when we're under stress, it's stuck on a loop of worries, self-criticism, and negative predictions. This is the chatter we want to quiet. This repetitive, often negative, and sometimes even intrusive thinking is what we call mental chatter. It's the internal dialogue that can run rampant if left unchecked. It replays past mistakes, missed opportunities, and awkward moments, making you relive them over and over again. And it obsesses over future uncertainties, potential problems, and worst-case scenarios, fueling anxiety and keeping you on edge. Our brains evolved to detect threats, to be constantly vigilant and scan the environment for potential dangers. But now in our modern lives, everyday stressors like work deadlines, relationship issues, and financial worries can trigger the same alarm response. The brain, in its attempt to protect us, can't always tell the difference between a genuine life-threatening situation and imagined problems, perceived slights, or the fear of what happened. This keeps us in a cycle of low-level alert, constantly anticipating the next potential threat, even when there isn't one. And this heightened state of alert often leads to magnifying small issues into big catastrophes, blowing things out of proportion. For example, a minor mistake at work, like sending an email to the wrong person, can spiral into fears of losing your job, being publicly humiliated, and ending up unemployed. This kind of thinking, where you jump to the worst possible conclusion, is called catastrophizing. All this mental chatter is incredibly exhausting and strains your body's resources, leaving you feeling drained and depleted. But it's important to remember that having these thoughts is normal. It's a natural part of how our minds work. Everyone experiences mental chatter to some degree. The key isn't to fight the chatter, to try and suppress or eliminate your thoughts altogether, as that's often a losing battle, but rather to observe it without getting swept away, to acknowledge your thoughts without getting caught up in their emotional content. Think of your thoughts like clouds passing by in the sky, constantly changing shape and drifting along. You can observe the storm, but you don't have to become the storm itself. You can remain calm and centered amidst the turbulence. By learning to detach from your thoughts, to create some distance between yourself and your internal dialogue, You reduce the power of mental chatter over your emotions and body, preventing it from dictating your mood and behavior. This is the first and perhaps most important step to regaining control over your mind and your life. The link between thoughts and your body is pure biology. When you worry, your brain's amygdala sounds the alarm, triggering the hypothalamus, your hormone command center. This activates the sympathetic nervous system, launching the fight-or-flight response. Adrenaline and cortisol flood your body, making your heart race and sharpening your senses. This is helpful for real danger, but modern stressors keep the alarm ringing. Mental chatter keeps your body in a state of high alert, even when there's no real threat. Your rest and digest system never gets a break. Chronic stress means a constant stream of stress hormones. Over time, this can damage your health. Let's focus on cortisol, the stress hormone. Cortisol is vital for survival, helping regulate energy, blood sugar, and inflammation. In short bursts, it prepares your body for action. But when stress is constant, cortisol stays high. This suppresses your immune system and slows digestion, your body's way of prioritizing survival. Chronic stress keeps your body on high alert, flooding it with cortisol. Over time, this can lead to high blood pressure, weight gain, fatigue, and frequent illness. It also disrupts sleep, learning, and memory. Most importantly, it wreaks havoc on your digestive system. The stress in your mind becomes a real physical force in your body. Understanding cortisol's role shows why managing stress is crucial for health. Let's see how this plays out in your gut. Your gut is often called your second brain for a reason. The gut-brain axis means your mind and digestive system are in constant communication. When stress hits, digestion is put on hold. Your body's focus shifts to survival. Cortisol slows stomach and intestinal contractions, causing bloating and constipation, or it can speed things up, leading to diarrhea. Stress also disrupts your gut microbiome, letting harmful bacteria thrive and causing inflammation. This can make your gut lining leaky, triggering immune responses and more health issues. Physical gut symptoms can create more stress, trapping you in a vicious cycle. Worrying about your gut can make symptoms worse, fueling even more mental chatter. This is why conditions like IBS are so closely linked to stress. Your thoughts and your gut are deeply connected. Let's look at real-life examples. Sarah has a big presentation. Her mind races with worries. Her appetite vanishes and she gets stomach cramps. Her stress triggers a gut reaction. Classic stress-induced diarrhea. David, after losing his job, is plagued by self-criticism and worry. His chronic stress slows digestion, causing bloating, constipation, and acid reflux. Even everyday stress, like being stuck in traffic, can make your stomach churn. These aren't just in your head, they're real physical responses to your thoughts. Gut feeling isn't just a metaphor. Your emotions directly impact your digestive health. When you're anxious or under pressure, your gut feels it too. Recognizing this link is empowering. By addressing mental chatter, you can ease physical symptoms. It's not just about treating the stomach ache, it's about calming the mind behind it. Change your thoughts and you can change how your body feels. That's the power of the mind-gut connection. Do you ever feel like your mind is a runaway train, constantly racing from one thought to the next? It's a common experience in today's fast-paced world, but the good news is you absolutely can quiet that mental chatter. It's not about some mystical ability, but rather learning and applying simple techniques. These techniques are accessible to everyone, regardless of experience. One of the most effective and readily available methods is mindful breathing. It's incredibly simple. Focus on your breath. Pay attention to the sensation of the air entering and leaving your body. Try this. Inhale deeply for a count of 4, hold that breath briefly, and then exhale slowly for a count of 4. Repeat this cycle several times. This simple act activates your body's natural relaxation response, helping to calm your nervous system. Another helpful technique is to write your worries in a journal. The act of seeing them on paper often makes them feel less overwhelming and more manageable. It's like taking the power out of them. Don't underestimate the power of connection. Talk to a friend. Simply saying your fears out loud to someone you trust can often shrink them down to size. When anxiety feels overwhelming, try the 5-4-3-2-1 technique. Start by naming 5 things you can see in your immediate environment, then 4 things you can physically feel, followed by 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and finally 1 thing you can taste. This simple exercise effectively grounds you in the present moment and powerfully interrupts the cycle of worry and anxious thoughts. Even dedicating just a few minutes of mindfulness or meditation on a daily basis can make a significant difference over time. Remember, the goal isn't to completely empty your mind of all thoughts, but rather to observe your thoughts as they arise without judgment or attachment. Over time and with consistent practice, you'll naturally get better at letting go of unhelpful chatter and finding a sense of inner peace. These seemingly small practices, when implemented consistently, can effectively break the cycle of stress and anxiety. They help your body gently shift from a state of stress and tension to one of calm and relaxation. Experiment with a few different techniques and see what resonates most effectively for you. Your mind, and surprisingly, your gut, will undoubtedly thank you for taking the time to cultivate inner peace. Long-term habits build resilience to stress and quiet mental chatter. Regular exercise burns off stress hormones and boosts mood. You don't need a marathon, just move your body daily. Eat whole foods to support your gut and brain. Fiber and fermented foods feed good gut bacteria, improving digestion and mood. Prioritize sleep. Poor sleep makes you more reactive to stress. Aim for 7 to 9 hours and keep a consistent routine. Spend time in nature. Even a short walk can lower cortisol and lift your mood. These habits create a foundation for a calmer mind and healthier body. Small changes add up to big results. Take care of your body and your mind will follow. We've seen how the voice in your head can shape your gut and your health. Mental chatter triggers stress hormones, disrupting digestion and well-being. But knowledge is power. You can intervene. Use mindful breathing, journaling, and healthy habits to break the stress cycle. You're not a passive victim. You can guide your inner voice. Build resilience with good food, movement, sleep, and time in nature. Each healthy choice quiets negative chatter and boosts vitality. Cultivate a kinder, more compassionate inner voice. By taking charge of your thoughts, you take charge of your health. The path to a healthier, happier life truly starts from within.